I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Beth Reilly, and I am with the Flamingo Group, and I'm a realtor. And our team has been very interested in the building of green homes. And the start of this is with Joe Pasma from Enercept, and he's the national sales manager for the Enercept Incorporated. I have lots of questions for you, Joe. How easy is it to fix this type of a structure?
It's wood-based technology, so it's the same OSB sheathing that we use on stick frame construction that we use with the SIP panels themselves. So if there's an issue, a storm comes up, a tree falls on the panel, whatever, that can be modified and fixed just like you would with stick frame construction. Obviously, it's going to depend on the extent of the damage that's done,
Mm-hmm.
but it can be fixed or remodeled just as easily as stick frame construction.
Okay, and of course, you get involved with that. It goes back to your manufacturer. It starts over.
Yes.
Um, with that, you had mentioned too something about storms. Could you tell me a little bit about how this construction is different than sticks, and how, let's say, storms, high winds? Um, that was an interesting analogy, and I don't know, food for thought.
If you think about stick frame construction and all of the studs that go in the walls, those are all nailed in place. And those nails and that connection is almost like a bunch of hinges, if you will.
Mhm.
And when the wind blows, those hinges, or think of straws, playing with Legos and kids playing, making um, little buildings, if you will, out of straws. They're really wobbly kind of a thing. And so with stick construction, they put the sheathing on the outside to stiffen everything up. Well, with SIPs, we have two layers of sheathing already on the panel itself. So once the walls are put in place and the roof is put on, it's very similar to, I guess the analogy I used before is if you think of a book and the front cover and the back cover, and you can rotate those with respect to one another. They slide and twist back and forth. That's sort of the way the stick frame building works. But the SIP, if you think of a box, stuff that we get from Amazon, and those are all taped on the edges so that all six sides of that box are tight together. That's what we do with the SIPs as we fasten them together. So when you try to move one face with respect to another, they don't, and it becomes really stiff that way and very strong. So wind events, tornadoes, high winds, storms, the panels do a really good job of
There's a
resisting.
little more resiliency.
Yes, very much so.
Excellent. Um, is this available? Is this technology something that's being used internationally? And if it is it being used widespread? And which countries? Things like that. A little background on that would be great.
It is used internationally. We as Intercept have shipped all over the world. We have projects that have gone down to the North Pole as well as the South Pole. The Arctic station that they have down in the South Pole are Intercept panels. But
Interesting.
England and Europe has SIPs, and they've done a lot of work with that. In fact, there's an ISO standard, ISO. It's sort of like our ASTM standards here in the US that is an international standard. So, yes, there are other countries that are also using SIPs. We don't get involved specifically sending or competing with them. There's enough work going on in the US that we focus on that. But it is something that a technology that is being used worldwide, yes.